Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Mountain Bears. I'm Aeson, and of course, with me tonight is the Techie with Moses, Techie Joe.
Hey.
Yes, we are in my living room at my war desk now.
Yes. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Took a few things to get set up.
It did. It did. I have bought another computer because I'm tired of seeing one set of four walls and thought I could enjoy seeing another set.
You did. You did.
You know.
And so that's been interesting. It's
Yeah.
been interesting.
Yeah. Because one in the office is right next to our bedroom. And so if he goes to take a nap, I have to shut the office door, which shuts me off from all AC, which is fine in the winter because the heater is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. You stay very warm, mostly.
Yes.
Like, it's got to get real bad before you're like, oh my God, I'm freezing in here.
Yes.
And then usually it's like, I'm going to bake a chicken.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm going to go and cook something.
Yeah.
However, in the summer, it's very much the opposite. And so I decided I wanted to get a little desk. We actually figured out last night just how bad and how old my laptop is. So now I have a war desk.
Yes. Well, I think you cursed the laptop technically.
Okay.
What you totally set last night and went off about how these people trying to use 5 and 6 year old computers and blah 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 blah. And I'm
Right.
like, I was standing in the kitchen when you said that, and I was like, oh, he done went and done it now. He done went and done it now. Oh no! See, Brenda, you would have thought that. That is not what occurred. No, well, I mean, he took this one over.
I took this one over because I went, Julie, oh, Julie, darling, I need a computer. I want this computer. I want these specs. What can you find me? And Julie said,
well,
let me check the database. And she says, I can have you one here next Wednesday. And I said, no. What else?
He could have had a brand new computer, but no. He went and talked to Julie, and he found out that the Beckley Rent-A-Center, which, by the way, if you're looking for a deal, Beckley Rent-A-Center right now, you might want to go stop in there, apparently got a truckload of repossessed product.
Yeah.
And so, they are slam packed, full jammed. They don't even know what they have.
Yeah.
And if it's complete or not.
So she says, I have one in Beckley. I can have it to you Monday. I said, it's in Beckley. I'll run and pick it up. And this is normally not a problem because normally if Julie has something for me, but it's in Summersville, I go pick it up. No big deal. Why run her gas? I can run mine and, do a little bargain shopping. Mm-hmm. So I thought I would have the same experience. No, I know why they have all the inventory. Parking is a nightmare.
Yeah, because we've said that before. It was like, oh, yeah, that's right. There's a Rent-A-Center in Beckley.
Yeah.
That no one can get to. Like you knew.
So go get it, get home, open the box, found the repair order. We really have to send a proposal to Rent-A-Center because, honey, they're paying too damn much. Mm-hmm. And, it's a brand new computer because every bit of it's been replaced. So, yep. So it's still formatting. That's where we're at, guys. The command center is reformatting. The war desks.
But wait, there's something missing in your story.
Go for it.
Well, because see now Brenda, okay, poor Brenda's over here trying to do some promotion for me, and it's like, oh no, I don't want to get promoted for this one. Mr. Computers has never a day in their life delivered this. Like, I do not put my rubber stamp of approval on this. So not only did they return the computer with the repair invoice for multiple products
Uh-huh.
inside, that are unrelated, unless it was the same customer, I don't know, but they looked unrelated.
It was related. It was the store's receipt because the store
Well,
paid for the repairs.
all
And
right.
technically, this is Mystic Computer's idea.
Pardon?
It is your idea because I was going to put the new computer in here, and you're like, oh, no, no, no. You want to put the new computer in your office.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But anyway, no. So we go one step further, and so he pulls it out of the box, and they've done this repair, and they left the side off of it.
Uh-huh. Shipped it separately.
Forgot to include it. Oops.
Yeah, it's shipped separately because it's a glass side.
But it would have been most protected in the great big box they originally shipped it in.
I know. That would have been intelligent. Of course, the last shipment of computers she got, every one of the side cases were broke.
Well, fair enough. Oh my goodness. Oh,
So
this
anyway,
is like, so if you if you want your tech tip of Friday, do not. I know they're pretty. God, I know they're pretty. I think they're gorgeous. Do not get me wrong as I say this. I think they're gorgeous. Do not buy a computer with the glass sides. Because they are easily broken. This is not like most of them. They literally, like. Do you remember those? Like, guys, just for a second, remember years ago when they made that stupid put together glass top table?
I had a lovely set.
Oh yeah, well, I'm talking about the one that was just like the little flimsy piece of glass.
Mm-mm.
And you screwed the legs like through it, like it wasn't like framed or anything. It was just a piece of glass with two brass pieces on either side of it. If you over tightened it, you broke it. That's what they're doing with the computer sides, basically. And it's like, no, skip it.
Yeah. Well, I love
Skip
the
it.
tech in them. It's quicker for me to get.
Oh yeah.
And normally it's wonderful.
No. I'm just saying, be very careful. Do not buy the ones that are just the glass bolted onto the side.
Right.
Like, you want to see that panel come off, and if they look like they were doing surgery when they do it, you're out. You're done. Yeah. Call it. No, you don't want that one.
Right. So, Aeson's going to have a newer computer. This is going to be, you're probably not going to see this space that often.
We'll see it sometimes, especially right now while it's still warm.
Right. Yeah, so, like with it being super hot.
If it gets really cold, or, you know.
Yeah. Or I just get tired of the gizmo, because this does not have the gizmo effect.
Well, it is a gizmo-free zone.
Yes. So, with that, that's why we're late, because it's like, okay, this wasn't set up to do this. Let's do this.
Yes.
And I may be a little fuzzy because I'm wireless. Because
well,
the wire
you're actually good.
Yeah, there's actually a wired connection here. I just couldn't get it pulled through fast enough.
Aww.
So we'll fix that.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
Because you know I prefer my wired.
I know. Well, now we may have to buy a thing before we do that.
What did you break now?
No, it's not what we broke. It's what we added.
Okay.
I think we ended up, when we ran the office and invisible assistant's desk, and I think we left that one unplugged because we weren't using it anymore. Because we ran out of ports. So we have to go pick up an 8-port. It was your idea. Don't look at me like that. Are we using it? No, then don't bother with it. I believe was the direct quote.
One of these days. One of these days, he's going to
Brenda
walk
says,
into the house and there's going to be a set of pink tech tools. And he's going to go, oh, those for me. And I'm going to say, no, keep your paws off.
Aw. Well, Brenda says, think of it as a beauty filter instead of blurred.
Uh-huh. Sure. Okay, we'll take that. All righty. So let's move into a breaking news segment. And I mean by breaking news is because this is breaking. I literally found out a couple hours ago. If you've seen my TikTok, it's on my TikTok. I shared it from Ophelia, SheLover99. But Joe, since you do most of the driving,
Yes.
you're driving down the interstate and you see a toddler walking down the road. What do you do?
Oh, I'm stopping for the toddler to go, what the hell?
Yeah,
What
that would have been my until today. That would have been my like, of course, wonderful husband. Fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah, so an Alabama woman is missing after stopping to help a toddler she saw walking on the interstate, police say. An Alabama woman has gone missing after telling a 911 dispatcher that she saw a toddler walking alone on the side of an interstate, according to local police. The woman, 25-year-old Carly Nicole Russell, called 911 around 9:34 p.m. local time on Thursday, according to a Facebook post from the Hoover Police Department. Russell told the dispatcher that she saw a toddler walking on the side of I-459 South. After calling 911, she stopped to check on the child and called a family member who lost contact with her, though the line remained open, according to the Facebook post. When officers, who were already en route from the original 911 call, arrived at the scene, they found Russell's vehicle and some of her belongings, including her phone, but no sign of her or the child. Police have not received any reports or calls for a missing child, according to the Facebook post. In a press conference on Friday, police said the case remains open and active, and a reward of up to $25,000 has been offered. Russell's mother, Talitha Russell, told CNN affiliate WBRC that she was working to stay positive during the search for her daughter. We are trusting God. We are staying positive. We are not allowing any negative thoughts to enter our minds, she told WBRC. So all that we are doing is trusting God, believe in God that our daughter will be brought home safely. Russell is 5'4" tall and was last seen wearing a black t-shirt, black pants, and white Nike shoes. According to the Hoover Police Facebook post, police urged anyone who may have seen Russell or has any information about the case to contact the department. Hoover, the sixth largest city in Alabama, is located around 10 miles south of Birmingham.
Right. So if you see her, apparently she is without her wig. She will have braids close to her head, hopefully. Or if you saw something weird in Alabama, go ahead and give them a call.
Helping a small child on the interstate.
Yeah. No, we're not. No. Like, this is bad because there's been stuff that's been like, people getting stopped or pulling over for people. Anymore? No. Sorry.
Yeah. It's scary, but it's literally lock your doors, call 911, and pay attention to your surroundings. Like, if you are absolutely 100% compelled to stop,
right,
lock your doors, call 911,
right,
and do the best you can.
Right, and keep your eyes open for what may be out there, meaning what you may see that may seem unusual, kind of weird, but okay.
I mean, I just can't imagine someone using their toddler like this.
Well, if it's their toddler, who knows if they're, because this is the second woman gone missing in Alabama in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
both under the age of 25. I could not find the other news article, but I was watching TikToks, and I've been sharing those over on my TikTok. Of course, it's Aeson Night. I also started sharing dating tips over there too, so you might find those interesting if you're in the hunting market. But I've shared that over there. But no, keep your eyes out. And
like, I just want to find out in the story enough to know, like, this was not an actual toddler and someone just had a really good ruse.
I'm hoping they're not
Like,
using children.
I mean, because this will sound bad. Y'all can hate me for it all you want to. It is one thing to abduct a woman, a full-ass grown adult woman. I'd take just one step further with it on using a toddler to do this.
Right.
Beside an interstate. Like,
Right.
oh my God.
Right.
Like, no, that's no. Like, sorry. It was bad enough when you're abducting women. It's really horrible if you're using a toddler to do it.
Right. Very much so. All right. Now, this next story I'm giving a trigger warning for. The reason is, this ain't good, guys. But here we go. YouTuber. Now, when we open our Patreon, yes, we have a Patreon. Our barista crew is amazing. It took them forever to convince us to open one. But this is going too damn far.
All right. Let me go on that one. So, YouTuber charged people to see autopsy photos of 11-year-old, completely disrespectful.
Well, I think it's more than disrespectful. I think it's past fucking disgusting. They filed a Freedom of Information Act and got a hold and was given the autopsy photos and then posted it to their Patreon.
Yeah. So a YouTuber obtained gruesome autopsy photos of a murdered 11-year-old boy and then charged money for people to view them, News Nation has learned. The YouTuber, going by the name Zavgirl, Zavgirl, sent in a Freedom of Information Act request for the autopsy photos of 11-year-old Gannon Staunch, who was fatally stabbed and shot by a stepmother in 2020. Once the pictures were released to the person running the YouTube account, she charged her followers $3 on Patreon to view them. Prosecutors said Gannon Staunch's mother, Letitia Staunch, killed him in January 2020 because she hated him and wanted to hurt his father, Al Staunch, whom she planned to leave and who was away on a National Guard deployment at the time. She stabbed him 18 times while he fought back, then hit him in the head and shot him. From there, she stuffed the 11-year-old's body in a suitcase and drove to Florida to dump it over a bridge. Michael Allen, the lead prosecutor on the Staunch case, said that his office reached out to the child's family about the photos, but there's not much they can do to completely take the photos down once they have been shared on the internet. Quote, "It's just completely disrespectful to the family members that have had to live through this horror," Allen said during an appearance on Dan Abrams Live on Tuesday evening. But even more so, Gannon deserves so much more in life from his stepmother, and he certainly deserves dignity and respect in death. There's nothing about what this YouTuber is doing, and I think there's another one out there as well, that provides any dignity or respect to Gannon. So after receiving backlash, the YouTuber posted a statement about the controversy. Quote, "The reality of the situation is that different people feel differently about this," the YouTuber wrote. In part, in the since deleted statement, "Some people genuinely think making a video including the autopsy photos is bad, and I respect their opinions and feelings. Other people, like myself, think of autopsy photos and the coroner discussing explaining them as interesting and informative and are able to view it all in a more scientific, detached way. But Allen thinks the reasoning behind releasing the photos rings hollow and thinks there are other ways to scientifically show what happened. They could have used body diagrams that the autopsy also included, instead of putting the actual pictures of Gannon's just completely broken body that reflects the depravity and horror that he had to live through," Allen said. It just speaks to the lowest of human forms, in my opinion, he continued. So Allen said that since the autopsy was performed in Florida, authorities in the state approved the Freedom of Information Act request. Florida law allows these sorts of things to go out, Allen said, later adding, maybe we need to look at changing the law as it relates to autopsy photos being released on the internet. The images of Gannon's body are so graphic, parts of them were blocked at Letitia Staunch's trial. Staunch was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison.
Well, she should have been sentenced to more than that. But my problem is the YouTuber. No. No, you don't do that. No one needs to see those photos. The only people that needed to see those photos, and I'm sure they needed to see the photos, they needed the report, was the jury in this trial. No one else ever needed to see those photos. Ever.
No. Well, and more to the point, and again, I go with it does ring hollow, especially when you're charging $3 admission.
Right.
Because that's what it was. It was $3 admission to see them.
Right.
So you treated him like a sideshow.
Yeah.
Not that I cannot understand the argument that they would have potential educational value. But again, rings really hollow when you charge $3 admission. And what do we know about this YouTuber? Are they a medical examiner, or are they just one more person on the bandwagon?
Or one more person on the shock bandwagon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the true crime, murder, mystery, whodunits, forensic, like that genre, has a lot of YouTube videos. Some of them are just reposted content. But some of them are, curated content that actually someone researched and took the time. But just the fact that you would release that.
Yeah, it's a true crime channel, one I've never heard of. It's fairly big because they've been monetized. We haven't been monetized. We haven't gotten that big yet. There's some stuff from YouTube I got to read later. Let's go to Newsweek. True crime. A true crime YouTuber faces backlash. That's it. She's a true crime YouTuber. She covers cases just as much as I'll watch cases. But this is just this. It doesn't even matter what style she is. There is no reason. No reason. If there were photos the jury wasn't even allowed to see, why would she do it?
View counts, money.
Yeah.
Offering a product that apparently there is interest in.
Right.
But at the same time, even if there is interest in seeing the photos, we generally, if you're talking pure journalism, there's also a general rule on that.
Right.
That it is not additive.
Mm-mm.
It is disrespectful. It is horribly shocking.
Right. But what gets me is the first line of the story. YouTuber. All of us. We all get grumped into it. It's never this person did it. That person did it. And no, we're not going there, Shannon. And I'm still going to be smoking on camera. Matter of fact, I just renegotiated the other show. I'll be smoking on that one too.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, because we were like, enough of this shit. You either give us 5-minute commercials or we'll smoke. Your choice. But here's the thing, and this is what gets me, is no, you do not do this. Who in a reasonable ideological mind would do this. Even true crime, we don't want to see that shit. We want the facts, we want the story, we want the reasoning. We don't like they don't even show it on oh god, what is her? Dr. G. Love watching her. She's hilarious. Love watching the autopsy procedures and how they figure out stuff. You don't see this stuff there either. Get the clue.
I think unfortunately it's the merger of like because there's always a next.
Right.
And I think this is a YouTuber that figured out that the most logical next is to take the thing that you don't do and do that.
Right. Well, now they've been shut down from Patreon.
Right.
I hope they get shut off of YouTube.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
but
sorry.
that's where a lot of these things are like, you know what I mean? Like we've ended up in a next economy.
Well, I get next. Next means you improve your coverage. Next means you improve your stories. Next means you get better stories. It does not mean you start making money off of a poor dead child.
Right.
Never. No. Mm-mm. You know, post real stories, cover real stories, but you don't have to cover it graphically. You don't have to go and dig up the sleeping bags that was from the mansion murder and show them.
Well, but again, there is like because there are like museums dedicated
Right.
to like all kinds of like what is that the trying to remember what it's called.
Give me a
definition. Pardon?
Give me a definition. What is it?
Basically, it's this weird little museum of like celebrity murder memorabilia.
Oh.
And I'm trying to remember what it's called. Because I know that I can't think of her name either. The mortician lady that we like.
Oh, the mortician.
Oh, okay. Well, ask the mortician. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like my brain just like she has a real name though. Like that's not on her driver's license. Well, it isn't. Probably ought to be, but
yeah. Oh God, I've read both her books. I love her books. I would love to sit and interview her.
I know. Yeah, my brain blank too. But anyway, Ask a Mortician, I think, has mentioned that museum once or twice over the years. It's like Museum of the Macabre or something.
Yeah.
I never can remember. Amy! Maybe it is the Museum of Death in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I know it, like, it has some very gruesome things in it.
Yeah. It's Caitlin Doty.
There you go.
Yeah.
Caitlin. Like, because that's a place that has history of creating drama,
right?
Around some of its collection items,
right? Which is understandable, but this is not collection items. This is not. This is a tragedy.
Okay, but here's what I'm talking about: is looking at their Wikipedia page. The museum displays a wide variety of art and artifacts surrounding the subject of death. Baby coffins are in one section, letters and artwork from various serial killers in another. There are films regarding autopsies, as well as explicit photographs of crime victims. Yeah, and it just goes on.
Right.
Yeah, it includes a recreation of Heaven's Gate mass suicide,
Uh-huh.
includes the original beds.
That's
Like, it's that kind of like,
right. Right.
mm,
But here's the thing. Our patrons in the audience, I'll throw up a poll. Give me a
and
minute.
it's the Museum of Death in Hollywood has a $20 admission.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what I'm saying is I think she hit it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of being a YouTuber, trying to figure out what to do to get views, get likes, make money, and what she could next.
Right.
I think she kind of took the Museum of Death concept and just went, well, I can do true crime, and then I can Freedom of Information Act
Yeah.
the photos, and then charge a $3 admission for them.
Yeah. All right. The poll is up. Patreons only. It's over on Aeson and Joe's YouTube. You have to be a subscriber on my channel to vote. Vote. Would you approve a post like this? I'm interested. Because I'm always picky about what I'll put in my Patreon.
Oh no, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, no, I disapprove.
Yeah. I disapprove highly.
I'm sorry.
I'm not listed as a journalist.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I just know one. I don't want to see that, and if I have to post it, I have to see it. So I'm like right there. I don't know.
No. I wouldn't. I would be very upset. I would, as a Patreon member, be throwing a fit on her. Like, I'm surprised she still has subscribers. And I think that, as a community, is what we have to start doing with these people that go past an ethical line of human decency.
Well, but then there's the other side of it is I wonder how many people signed up to see them. Yeah. Like, it could have potentially exploded her numbers. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying, like, as much as we're sitting here having the debate,
right,
and like clearly, obviously, we're on the side of don't do that.
Right.
I'm sure that this paid out handsomely if she got any of the money.
Well, I hope the Patreon doesn't.
Well, I would hope, but sometimes you don't know it until it's already so far down a rabbit hole you've paid some of the money out.
No, they have a hold. It is hold. It has to be hold.
Yeah, Shannon, that's exactly where I'm at. Is it was twisted, she did it, but obviously there was a demand somewhere and she filled it, unfortunately.
Right.
Like, yeah. I mean, for everything there is a place on the internet.
Yes. And Silk Road is where it belongs.
Like, I'm just saying, it's Rule 32, I believe it is.
Yeah, I have Rule 32, and it has nothing to do about the internet.
Everything's on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really do. I have hatred for that.
Right.
But we already have brick and mortar businesses, was my point with the Museum of Death.
Right.
That are doing much the same thing.
Right.
Now, I think some of these are older.
Yeah.
I would hope.
It's now, what, 30 years old?
Pardon?
Oh, give me a year. It's made the History Channel.
I'm sorry, what has?
Heaven's Gate. 1997.
Yeah, but then it's the question of when did the Museum of Death pull this together? So because some of this, like, because I know that Museum of Death has come up a few times. Trying to see if there's an article that said when it occurred, like when they released the Heaven's Gate exhibit.
Well, people covered it 25 years later.
Okay, so they did wait a good long time on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, and there are some instances in which, yes, well, and like, it's very hard though to draw a line.
Right.
And I don't even know that you can. I don't know what makes it appropriate.
Right.
When is it appropriate? What it like? How much public interest must there be versus how many remaining people still traumatized by this must there be? Like, I would have a lot of like moral, ethical dilemmas.
Well, and that's where I'm at with this. Is it's not a moral, ethical dilemma. That's fucking insane.
Shannon points out they have to get releases, and the crimes have to be so old to be considered to put on display like that in most states, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, we may have to look into that a little further.
Right.
Because I would think that some of the oh, sorry, I was just noticing on the Museum of Death's website, photographs and or video of any type, cell phones included, are strictly prohibited within the museum. Respect for the dead. Doing so will have you immediately removed from the premises. Thank you for your consideration and cooperation.
Right.
So even though they're displaying it,
right,
and charging an admission,
right,
they're at least trying to be respectful.
Exactly.
You know, that yes, you can come publicly view this, but no, you cannot put this on the internet.
Exactly. You know, and that's where I have you can't put it on the internet. You shouldn't be putting it on the internet.
Well, granted, Shannon brings up the good point of their more so reason is because they paid for the rights to use those things.
Well, and I get that. And they're paying the families.
Fair enough.
Okay? They're paying whatever. They're maintaining some level of history, meaning it's, it isn't like they've not even got, this woman hasn't even gotten her mail forwarded in jail yet, and this is up on the line.
I mean, again, I would struggle. Right. I would really struggle. I just, this is a business I could not run.
No.
Like, I mean, it wouldn't be worth it. I can make millions doing this, but I would never be worth it.
Well, and I can cover,
you know what I mean?
I really much love true crime, and wow. And poll. All right, so I'm ending the poll. And its percent is 100% no. Our Patreons would be upset.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I can't imagine they wouldn't be.
Right.
Like, we got good eggs, okay?
We got great patrons. They're amazing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is what gets me and what drives me crazy, is stop lumping us together. Call her out. And see, like, we're hoping for the Browning Kavanaugh trial to be streamed. I'm wanting to see how this court compares to what was her damn name?
But we do have, like, I mean, this is an extreme example of it.
Yeah.
But we have, like, some voyeuristic intention.
Right.
When it comes to, like, murder and messy relationships and dirty little secrets and...
Right.
You know what I mean? Like celebrities getting caught with their pants down or caught whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We, as a nation, as a world, really, it
Right.
seems, have an obsession, a very strong voyeurism tendency towards this.
Right. But much
Um,
like the sandals of the 90s, I thought we had an agreement after Princess died. This shit stopped.
but did it though?
It should have.
I mean, but did it though?
It should have.
I'm
That's what
not
I'm
saying it
saying.
shouldn't have. I'm just saying, but did it though? I think it dialed back a little,
Yeah.
very little.
Yeah.
And I think the further we've gone down the internet trail, the more people have been inspired into citizen journalism,
Right.
to publish the things the paper won't.
Right. And I get that. But there comes a line there, there comes an ethical moral in my mind. Like, no one wants to see an 11-year-old's autopsy photos.
Apparently, someone does. Apparently, a lot of someone did.
Did they?
They paid $3 for it.
They paid $3 as a member of her Patreon.
Okay, but still, she had views.
Well, she still has views, unfortunately.
Well, but I'm saying though,
Right.
like I don't think this was like everyone in her Patreon was horrified and shocked that how dare she,
Mm-hmm.
and that she immediately, and I'm sure she did immediately lose subscribers, that were there and like, no. But I think she may have also gained subscribers who went, oh yes.
Well, I'm muting this because I want to go look at the comment section on any video of hers.
Okay.
Like her apology video.
I'm just curious, like, how that went.
They have a pinned comment. She didn't sell autopsy photos. That's what Patreon is you sell content.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you dress it up any which way you want to, but that's fundamentally.
Right.
Was it exclusive content to our Patreons? Guess what?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. If you start an OnlyFans,
Right.
and you and your spouse go at it on OnlyFans,
Right.
there's a paywall to see the content.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone out there splitting the hair that you're not, paid to have sex on camera? Well, no, they pay for our OnlyFans.
But this isn't the type of content she's done before. That's the whole thing. Like, this isn't like her first offense, her second offense.
This is the time it all blew up. And that's what I'm saying.
Right.
There were people interested who signed up for her OnlyFans. So,
right.
And obviously, this wasn't the first time she did it.
Well, what she's covered in the past is like journal entries from certain people. Who is Brian Cavendish? Let's hear from people who know him. Like, none of like real true crime stuff. Real, like, let's take it a little, covering, reacting to the Daybell verdict. Streaming that, talking about that, reporting on different cases.
Okay, but has she done a Freedom of Information Acts and released content exclusive?
No. They were getting early video.
So she literally did.
Yeah.
Do this the first time, and everyone went, "Oh."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying that makes it all well, fine, good, and just puts a great big rosy Band-Aid on it. But that is like a little better. Like infinitesimally amount of better. Like not really, but okay, it's like a hair of better.
Right.
It feels better knowing that, this got shut down very quickly and she did not just rake in money case after case after case with autopsy photos.
Yeah, no, this
Um,
wasn't. This isn't her normal MO. Like this would be the equivalent to. Is it even up? This page has been removed. Yes, her Patreon has been removed. Good.
but yeah.
Right. This was a shock and awe.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest problem with shock and awe things is that she did it. That was wow.
Yeah, and on the
And I
other
mean
side
we're
of
all
that is
rightfully
Florida
horrified.
going, what the hell?
Well, but we're all rightfully horrified.
Mm-hmm.
I will almost guarantee you someone else will do it,
Yeah.
and we will be rightfully shocked and horrified, but go, there was that other woman too. And another person, and another person, and another person. And then at some weird point,
Mm-hmm.
like, we're going to just end up going, oh, yeah, that's a thing online.
Unfortunately, but I really hope these states start
That's,
moving, because in every case, even the cases that I've recently watched, there's always a motion to seal these images.
mhm.
Okay, to seal the photos, to seal this, to seal that. That's been the thing.
Yeah.
But apparently in Florida, nobody made a motion to seal the autopsy photos.
Which is sad. And that may just not be something they commonly do in Florida. Because it may be the first time this has ever happened, and they have no clue why other states are sealing evidence like this. And then
Florida's
it
a hot
happens.
fucking mess, in my opinion.
Well, but again, laws don't, common procedures,
Right.
and I call it a law, but a common procedure like sealing autopsy photos, sealing segments of evidence, don't become a thing until
Mm-hmm.
you have a reason.
Right.
A really compelling reason to be like, oh no, we're not playing this game.
Right.
We are not doing this. We're not suffering this. We're not putting up with this. Every
Right.
fucking journalist
Right.
will drive us batty.
Right. Like, this is insane, and we will not do it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I will cover a lot of things. We talk a lot of stuff on all the shows. This is something we will not cover.
Mhm.
All right, so let's talk about Nepal. Hello, Nepal. You're looking really good right now.
Alrighty. So, same-sex couples and LGBTQ plus rights activists in Nepal celebrate interim court ruling. So Kathmandu, Nepal. So LGBTQ plus rights activists and couples in Nepal on Thursday were celebrating an interim order issued by the country's Supreme Court enabling the registration of same-sex marriages for the first time. The Supreme Court issued the order on Wednesday, allowing for the temporary registration of marriages for same-sex and non-traditional couples. The decision represented a leap forward for activists and others who have long sought to amend the laws to permit same-sex marriage and end provisions that limit marriage to heterosexual couples. At a personal level, for those who are living together, is a huge victory. Practically, they can register their marriage, and their rights can be immediately exercised, said Sunil Babu Pant, an openly gay former parliamentarian and leading LGBTQ plus rights activist in Nepal. This is very important because it allows the couples to go and register their marriage and start living as a couple legally, Pant said. Since a court decision in 2007 asking the government to make changes in favor of LGBTQ plus people, Nepal has undergone major changes. People who do not identify as female or male are now able to choose third gender on their passports and other government documents. The new constitution also explicitly states there can be no discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation. The Supreme Court ordered the government to establish a separate register of marriages for same-sex couples. It was not clear when the court would make its final decision on the case. Same-sex couples were celebrating the court order. Surendra Pandey and his partner Maya Gurung said they were relieved to be able to finally register their marriage with the authorities. The couple got married 6 years ago at a temple following Hindu tradition, with a priest conducting the rituals among friends and family. They've not received any certificate to show their marriage is legal. I'm overwhelmed with joy because of this decision, and it's a day of commemoration for our community, Grung said. This court ruling has established that we are equal citizens of this country. The couple said they would likely have to wait a few more days to register with the government, but would continue to campaign until the laws are permanently changed in the country.
Right. So they're gaining ground in Nepal. However, what's really
constitutional ground, like constitutional ground.
Yes.
Like, this isn't just, well, we went to the Supreme Court and we decided the case and blah, 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 blah. No, they rewrote a constitution.
Yeah, they added an amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is in contrast. Now, Nepal is known as being a very tropical item. I don't think it was a first world nation. However, what's really scary, and I woke up to this morning because somehow the news report has been turned on to the smart alarm.
Hey!
It started working, which I normally prefer that, like, while I'm showering. I like listening to the news in the morning. It's a great way to just let the negativity wash over and get me prepped for my day. However, very interesting behavior. Now, in the 1950s, we got, one nation under God, stapled on every damn thing we can get it stapled onto.
Thanks, Russia.
Huh?
I said, thanks, Russia.
Yeah. Thanks, Russia. Thanks, communism. We got, children reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Not the original, the, refined and redefined and refined measure.
Yep. Thanks, Hitler.
Yeah.
So we had to change a lot of parts of the pledge for that one.
Yeah.
And the fact that even it became a commonly recited thing.
Right. This was all to fight communism in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting thing going on. If we look at the debates going on in the states and the laws being passed in the states, then we take a look and we think, God, the U.S. is really falling down on its rights for the people, its rights for the nation. What's this issue? And then breaking today on Reuters. No, thank you. Maybe later. Russian parliament bans transgender reassignment surgeries bans gender reassignment surgeries for trans people. I am like, did you just say Russia? Did we get a 51st state already? Puerto Rico lost the race? No.
I know. It's really wild the shithole the first world has become.
Well, it's really wild. Not only the shithole the first world has become, but it's really wild that these two countries that claim that they are so far different.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, we're in a war right now over Ukraine because we have such a large difference, and we're throwing literally everything and anything we can send to them. Matter of fact, the president called up 3,000 reservists to go to Europe's command. Although we're not going to war, we're just calling them up to fight this country that is acting just like our Republican-controlled states.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, so, for those of you who didn't catch it, I was making reference to Trump's commentary about shithole countries.
Uh-huh.
And going, yeah, it's just, and turning that around into, it's a real shithole here in the first world.
Right.
All right, Jimmy. Have fun with that.
Have fun. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, huh. How interesting. How interesting 73 years is.
Like it's kind of wild. It's
Yeah,
kind of wild.
yeah. You know, 30 years ago, I remember, I don't remember her name, but I think it was the first lady of Russia or whatever was caught wearing a hairstyle. And it was a fairly popular wear at the time. Most of the freaking town was at the hairdresser the next week going, I don't want that.
Wait, what? Oh, in the U.S.
Yeah,
On the other side of the world.
yeah,
Yeah, not that one.
yeah.
Was it the Karen? It was probably the Karen. It was the
The
Karen, right?
bob curl under thing. And suddenly it became the reverse and it got real short in the back and the bobs no longer happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it inadvertently created the Karen. That's what it did.
It did.
Oof. Thanks, Russia.
All right. So I pre-picked your what are you the asshole?
I know you did. Let's go ahead and send that over to me. That way, I don't
Sure.
have to jump windows. Dun, dun, dun,
And it's because it
dun.
was misfiled.
Do what now?
It was misfiled.
It was misfiled.
Yeah. It was over in polyamory instead of am I an asshole? So I knew you were
Oh, yeah. Well, fair enough, but it actually does start with Am I the Asshole?
right.
All right. Am I the asshole for not wanting to be friends with a poly person anymore after they suggested a friends with benefits situation? I, female 39, have been friends for years with a polycule, though I myself am not polyamorous. Everyone in the group knows me to not be poly, but in full support of whatever ethical relationship dynamic people choose for themselves. Over the past year, I've become close friends with a man, 42, in that group who is the only male friend I've ever had who has not tried to sleep with me. It was very special to me to finally have a platonic male friend that I could fully relax around. Until we got dinner and were both complaining about dating woes, and later that night he texted me offering a friends with benefits situation. I'm not attracted to this person at all, but also I made it clear to him from our first hang that I am not poly. I declined, and he was, of course, fine with it, but it killed the friendship for me since this is just another situation where I tried to have a platonic friendship with a man who brought sex into the situation. So
Right.
now I no longer feel I can feel 100% free with him and have to be somewhat on my guard around what I share, about what I talk about, how affectionate I am, etc. Also, it seems like after a year of hanging out, he hasn't been paying attention because if he had, he would have known that that was going to be something that would bother me. I'm very vocal about my annoyances with men, so it feels like he doesn't even know me as a friend should after a year and has just wanted to sleep with me. So, am I the asshole for wanting to end this friendship? Is it possible to be friends with men without them bringing sex into the situation?
What's your viewpoint?
Oh, it's not that I don't understand the frustration. I understand, and I totally understand if this truly is a hot button topic for you, then absolutely you are not the asshole for not wanting to be friends with a poly person. I really don't think you're an asshole for not wanting to be friends with someone for any reason. I think you could uh, choose that for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you choose your friends. Friends are the family you choose. You're not stuck with them. You can dump him.
Right.
as a friend. Um, I, is it possible to be friends with men without them bringing sex into the situation? I mean, I think you might have walked into a conversation that unfortunately somehow made this sound like maybe y'all were sharing a moment and perhaps this would be a time to shoot a shot.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I'm very on the like fence with that because I don't really 100% think that's what happened. But it's the only way I could see that if he were ever truly just a friend, that he would have gotten it in his head that, hey, maybe now's, and looked at you in a different light.
right.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, I would like to think there is.
I think there is, but I think there has to be a very clear line. And I can understand their problem. Their problem is it seems like all their friends want to sleep with them. And they're not interested in that. Like they want relationships in one box, friendships in another box.
Well, I mean, granted, this isn't like I definitely see why this one didn't belong in polyamory. I'm totally down on that one.
Right.
Because this really isn't about a poly person. This is about someone who is poly,
Right.
but not about poly itself. Like
Right.
poly didn't cause this.
No.
Um, other than it made it slightly possible and not have the ick factor of and you want to cheat on my friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I mean,
Yeah. I mean, especially if it's like everything different. And what's your thoughts though overall? Like you have a friend and suddenly they want to be more than a friend.
I definitely understand it can make that really awkward. I don't think it has to be a total blow up though.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how to put it. I think we all have at least one time or another had that awkward moment of like suddenly finding ourselves wanting something that we know better.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like all the signs there point to no. Magic 8 Ball says, "Oh hell no."
Right.
Like this is the bad idea, dude. This is the bad idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And you do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes it's just like you have the conversation, you say no, it's awkward for a little while, and then you move on.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Brenda says she
Um,
thinks she can be friends with men that aren't gay men. Yes, you can be friends with men. I think female and male friends go well together when there's an understanding of where everybody stands at.
I don't know. I don't even know that you like have to be like women can only be friends with gay men without it ever turning sexual. I
Right.
think like I've had, but see, I always end up on the other side.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. Do
I
tell.
got
Do tell.
into I got into so and actually it ruined a friendship. I got into so much trouble with a friend of mine in college.
Okay.
I was literally just her friend.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's all we were doing. We were friends.
Right.
That's it. That's what we're doing. Yes, I met her father. In hindsight, I should have processed that. I really wasn't thinking beyond friends. Like friends meet friends' parents. Like that happens.
Right.
I didn't understand. No, turned out I was like the perfect boyfriend.
Right.
And she was devastated.
Right.
Like she was furious when she found out that that was not what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
I was not dating you. I'm like, oh God. Like, and she really never spoke to me again. I felt horrible.
Right.
I mean, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, that wasn't where this was headed.
Right.
We never talked about that being where this was headed, or like this was not a date. We were next door neighbors.
Right.
Like, you were cool, I was cool, we were cool at the same time. We happened to go like grab dinner, go shopping, like do shit.
Right.
Nowhere in my head was this screaming like, this is a date.
Right.
Like, I no. I mean, call it Joe's oblivious, evidence mounts, like exhibit double F. But
So that means we're past double F. Where are we at on the exhibit level?
that means we've gone through the alphabet multiple times.
I get that. I'm just trying to figure out what the current one is.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, because the past 6 years, like, there's countless times I'm like,
Yeah, I know. But it was like not my intent.
yeah,
It really wasn't.
right.
Like, I was not like you're cool, I'm cool, we're cool together. Cool, let's go do stuff that friends do. Like, I more so got the inverse version of this.
Right.
Like, I was not trying to date anyone.
Right.
At all.
Right.
I was floored because I was like, wait, what?
Right.
I'm sorry, did I just hallucinate?
There's times I wonder, honey. I'm like, how oblivious are you?
Apparently a lot.
Yes, a lot.
Like, I had passed all boyfriend like credentialing, like the whole process.
Uh-huh.
Like, I had gone the gambit and not known.
Right.
Not known. No, she didn't. Apparently. Like, she just apparently thought I was really super respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, but, like, really?
Right.
I'm just sitting here going, I just, like, and I think the part that horrified her and the reason we never spoke again was I just had this whole moment of, like, what gave you the indication?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was legitimately asking, like, what did I do wrong?
Right.
Like, how did I communicate? Like, what signal did I send that said, oh, yeah, this is a relationship ruin? Because I was like, no, not what happened.
Right.
Then I turned right around and became friends with the next neighbor. At least she got it. She was cool.
Right.
I'm still friends with her. But it was so wonky, weird. Like, well, thank you, Brenda. I'm glad someone else gets it. Like, I was floored.
Right.
I was like, what? How? How did did I create this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, there's some things I have walked myself into and then went, oh,
Yeah.
I see what I did. I still don't get that one.
No.
I am clueless.
Uh-huh.
To this day, I do not know what I did that screamed, nah, your boyfriend has arrived.
Well, normally it's that cute little face you get when you're, like, somewhat in trouble, but don't know you're in trouble yet.
So I did a thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that one. The boyfriend has arrived.
Oh, God. Like, oh, man. I may currently be in, like, 2,500 or so simultaneous relationships.
That's fine.
Because I use that face all the time. That is
I'll
my
expect the shipment from Jet Pens.
I know. I should have gotten more birthday presents.
No, I say I'll expect the shipment from Jet Pens.
What? No.
Yes.
No.
I'm sure there are 2,500 colors
You're
of
not
ink pens.
pimping me out. You're not using my obliviousness to pimp me out. God. I swear I told you no to OnlyFans, and I'll be damned. The things, the shit I have gotten.
Yes, the shit you have done.
Ah! I'm horrified.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right. So let's move. The poll is up. Are they the asshole?
All right.
So let's dig into relationship advice.
Dealing with not having a second partner. So my spouse has a second partner. I like her a lot, and we hang out without him sometimes. They hang out together about once or twice a week overnight and do their outings throughout the week. I'm happy they get to spend time together. However, when they're out, I'm usually the one with our child. My spouse gives me personal space and time once he's back to kind of relax, but I feel that I'm mostly jealous because I don't also have a relationship like that as well. I have a long distance relationship who I visit about once a year, and I've been trying to date more, but I haven't really found another person who I click with yet. This feeling is kind of random at times, and I really am happy for my spouse's relationship, so I don't want him thinking that I'm jealous and upset of my meta when they're out spending time together. We've talked about it before, but there are times where I want what they have or to be closer to my long distance relationship partner to spend more time. Any advice?
Yeah, date yourself. Schedule a date on the calendar.
Fair enough.
Give him the child. Take off and go dating. Take your meta out to lunch. Leave him with the child.
I don't know. I'm gonna focus in specifically on the situation
Right.
and go, I think what you're having is on one hand adorable, really. Because it means that their other relationship is going so well. It's inspiring, but in a slightly heartbreaking way.
Right.
Because you are in a long distance relationship, so you don't have the opportunity to just go do that.
Right.
I really don't even think you're having a problem with the fact that you're taking care of your child while they're on a date at all. I think, though, you might want to keep a check on that. Because if you misplace the feelings that you're having, you may inadvertently resent that.
Right.
So be very careful with that. Because the fact you brought that up first, careful with that.
Right.
Because that's not really what it's about. What it's about is you found someone that you're into, that you click with. They're just not local. Right. And it doesn't sound like there's any kind of formal plan to make them one way or another more local.
Right.
And your local dating scene has not been all that great.
Right. Quite boring.
And I can understand that one.
Brenda, that was a joint venture.
Yeah, no, we're not putting up an OnlyFans for Jeff.
Okay.
Not happening. So
my advice is to date yourself. Take time out, go ahead and get them used to being the babysitter. So that when you do have that relationship, you can have it. You can even go and take your meta out. I like it when you two leave.
Well, or more importantly, also recognize that like you don't have to, so to speak, dump the kid on them
Right.
as much as make sure your spouse understands that you're doing a lion's share here
Hmm.
of time alone with child.
Right.
Now it also have some sensitivity to the fact because you do state you do go once a year.
Right.
And apparently at least to go see your long distance partner. And I'm assuming, let's see, that was for, did they say like a week? I don't know.
No,
So your partner may also feel like it evens out somehow.
right.
But I still have to come back around to I don't think you have a problem with it.
Right.
I think you just do it and you're fine with it and it's not a thing. But I think it's one of those that you looked a little bit too much in the mirror
Right.
and was like, I can start listing off some things.
Right.
And I don't think those are really the problem. I think the problem is you're just not currently fulfilled in your polyamory.
Right.
With having, not having really more than one local partner.
Right.
And I think you really got to focus on that part.
Hmm.
So either you've got to move that long distance closer and say, this is the time,
Hmm.
piss or get off the pot. Either we're doing this or we're not,
Right.
because this is no longer working for me.
Or you
Um,
need to plan some more visits.
mhm. Plan more
You see,
visits, if that's
long
at all
distance, I think, has a tether.
okay.
Like you can do long distance for a while, but it has a tether. Like 2, 3 months, 4 months, you kind of get bored with it.
Well, it has
It
a
needs
limit.
to have that. Yeah.
Yeah. It has it's not impossible to have a long distance relationship, and it's very possible to have a long
Right.
distance relationship. It just comes to a point almost always
Right.
where one or both of you, again I'll say it, you have to piss or get off the pot.
Right.
Like you either are doing this or you're not. You cannot
Right.
keep it in this limbo forever.
Right.
Like if this isn't going to work, it isn't going to work, and you need to both move on.
Right.
And I think it does start creating problems throughout your life
Right.
when you
And the
get
other side
stuck
of
in the
this
limbo.
is you need to get out and date. And they have, according to their comments, about 6 months now. They've been on online apps, events, and meetups. Nothing's really panned out yet. 6 months is nothing.
Well, true. But I understand looking over and being like, y'all have it. Like we see that, and I think everyone sees that from time to
Right.
time. When you're like couples that have a single friend,
Right.
there's always that one
Hmm.
who's like, I want what you guys have.
Well, we get that all the time.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting here going, you want what you perceive colored by your current feelings on being single.
Right.
And it's like, that's not the same thing.
Well, not only that,
I
is
mean,
it not?
I'm not, and in no way am I saying we have a horrible relationship and no one would want this if they really knew. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's this point that
Right.
single people get to where I swear to God you could be watching domestic violence and have a heartache for it.
Right. And, that's the other thing. And then for me, and, that's the reason I started doing dating tips, because I got tired of hearing a lot of the crappy ones. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, what plane of the imagination do you think that actually works?
Mm-hmm.
Or, or what level of control do you think you have out of somebody?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So some of them are cute, and I'm just like, oh yeah. I think that also belongs on a list with ways to get your partner to commit a felony. But
ways to get your partner to not be happy in a relationship.
That too.
Yeah,
I mean, that was kind of there with commit a felony.
Right. Well, I know you watch everything I put up, so what have you thought of the first 3 tips I put up?
I'm supposed to watch everything you put up?
Of course.
No. That's first thought. I did see, I think, one of them because you did show me that one, and I was there for that.
Yeah.
Like, yes. And then we did the show kind of loosely around that.
Right.
Yeah, no. This talking to other people thing is part of the dating process.
Right.
Like, that's not new. And I have personal issues with that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it reminds me of so much Baptist used chewing gum, celibacy / wait till marriage, virginity pledge, promise ring bullshit.
Right.
That it's like, no, people are not chewing gum. Like, the first time they have sex isn't some destructive event that just ruins them.
Right.
And so no one's going to want that.
Right. And I haven't done this one. This one's going to come up, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a normal human being, you have 14 occasions to go on a real date in a week.
Mm-hmm.
14. Do not expect someone to get upset if they can't fill all 14 of those dates.
Like, did y'all not hear the lyrics to Cabaret?
Okay.
What good sitting all alone in your room?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, before we get down.
Yeah. Well, I like that. I may do that in my other one.
I'm just saying.
Right.
Like, there is so, like, I cannot imagine, and this is me, maybe some of y'all are there and you're like, yeah, no, that's what I'm looking for. I low-key stalker vibes, all right? If you were to tell me that, like, we talked and that's it, that's all we've done, we've talked, and now you are no longer talking to anyone else, and you're not going to go on any dates, and you just sit and wait from date to date for the next date.
Mm-hmm.
And you've known me all of like a grand total time spent with me is in the low single-digit hours.
Right.
I'm thinking I'm gonna be a little freaked out.
I think I'm pressing my button on my phone and having you call me.
Do what now?
I think I'm pressing the button on my phone to have you to call me if I get in that situation.
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna respond well to that. I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
thank you. Thanks for playing. So glad we got together. Mm-hmm. I've learned a lot. Well, time for me to go braid my hair. And let's never do this again.
Yeah. And the other page of that, and the other side of that for me, and I talked about this, is designing your profile to say what you want. So that means you have to have a list of what you want in a relationship and making sure you have room for it in a relationship. It's kind of like one of the weirder ones for me was I did not want another mother-in-law or father-in-law.
Like, must be an orphan was on your list.
Yes. Or adopted.
or like, just saying there's someone out there for everyone. I should have been horrified and run away from that one. And I will say, I was a little icked. Like, that one icked me. I was like, wait, what?
Well, you didn't like my dating profile at all. Like, you made me rewrite it when we got serious.
No. Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You lucked up on being introduced, because if you had contacted me directly, I no, no,
Uh-huh.
no, no. You did better. You do way better with like word of mouth advertising than you do with your own billboard. Like your own billboard is like serial killer seeks victim.
No, it is not that. Although I think I may post that on Grinder and see what I get.
Shut down is what you get.
Huh?
Shut down is what you get.
Bullshit.
Yeah, if you use those exact words, you will get shut down. That has happened. Don't do that.
No, I'm telling you, bullshit. Okay, and I know this is bullshit from the number of guys that message me and you're like, "Hey, what you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing much, working." Do you travel? Depending on the day, what I do travel. I mean, I have a driver's license, a car, and a business, so my travel is predictable.
I'm not a hermit. I signed up to the website.
Yeah. And then the dude goes, "I'm looking for a long-term, loving, monogamous relationship." And I said, my reply back was, "Did you read my profile?" In all capital letters.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, he stopped talking.
Probably to go read.
My profile is not that long, but my point being is, he's looking for Prince Charming. I'm no Prince Charming.
And nothing on your profile says that's how that's going to work out.
No, not at all. Nothing on my profile says anything about that working out. My profile almost basically says, "I'm no Prince Charming. If you want if you want to be underneath my feet, that's great, but you can't be underneath my ass all the time. I'm busy."
Maybe the next one should just say frog for kissing.
No, I feel like I've already kissed enough frogs. I found me a nice prince.
Wait, did you just say that you met me as a frog?
Boot.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Yeah. Yeah. True. True. I had broken my ankle.
Yeah.
I literally showed up in a boot.
Yeah.
Like one of the medical boots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a phone that sounded like it was one of those clocks from the 80s that made bird sounds.
Yes. That is one of my hacks for dementia care.
Mm-hmm.
It really, truly is.
Uh-huh.
Like tweeting birds did nothing to annoy my grandmother, but you let that damn thing sit there and be like beep, 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 beep all day long. Oh my God. It drove her crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I found Tweety bird noises. Not literal Tweety, but like tweeting birds and very calm nature sounds.
Right.
Yeah, it was a weird Cinderella.
Uh-huh.
I was your Cinderfella.
I have a problem with that story.
If the boot fits, you must acquit. Wait, I've mixed my metaphors.
Yes, you have. And that boot will fit anybody. That's not the point. Point being is like, I've listed out exactly what I'm looking for in my profile, exactly what I will not take. Like, sorry, I'm not dating anybody on life support. I'm not dating anyone that cannot work a job. I'm not dating anyone that believes that, a Republican vote is a good vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have a laundry list.
I have a laundry list of things I won't date.
Like
non-smokers that have a problem with smokers? No. Why date me?
Yeah. Oh, but no, it was a list, and apparently I missed what, 3?
No.
Like he settled. Let's just go ahead and get it out there. He settled.
I didn't settle. You didn't miss any of them. You even had the hard to find rare ones.
No, I had the rare ones, like the ultra rares. but there were like 3 items on your, like, I don't know, 70 some item list. Hold on, he has to open the Word file.
That's if it's on my cloud. Because remember, I don't have my backup drive.
Oh my God.
Like, my dossiers are currently sitting in stasis.
Oh. Whatever will you do? I'm not kidding though. It's a Word file.
Yeah.
He sent it to me and then, like, I think highlighted or something the 3 that I didn't meet.
I think it was have a job.
Well, yeah, because I just come off of 7 years of caregiving.
No, you were still caregiving.
Well, yeah, well, no, that's right. I was still caregiving.
Right.
Technically. But additionally, like, yeah, no, and it was like I was working.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, one with caregiving, granted unpaid, but 2, I actually was doing computer repair on the side.
You know.
So I was working.
You online. Give me a minute, guys. This will take a second.
Oh, Lord. Oh, I shouldn't have brought up the Word file.
Well, I was like, well, I don't have it. I can kind of quote it. I mean, because I wrote it, but.
I know, but it's like 70 some items.
It is not 70 some items.
I remember it's like a whole page.
It's
and a whole other, like. You want to?
Still. I can get to it easier.
Oh, goody.
Because it's still live somewhere.
As a post?
Yes. Oh, God. I don't use this site that often.
Like, when he says he takes applications, he's not kidding.
Kidding.
There's an application process.
Yes. Reviewed by a board of excellent suggestibles.
Oh, God. And the irony here is you thought you knew which one of us was anal retentive, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you thought you knew. You were wrong.
Yeah, there is not 77, it's 62, thank you.
Oh, that's so much better. Joe's insane. It's not 75, it's 62 items.
Yeah, I was shooting for 69, but we only got to 62. Then it got repetitive.
So A1 ultra rare was dead parents.
No in-laws. They didn't have to be dead. I just didn't want in-laws.
So he was totally fine if they, like, you know, I came out and they kicked me out on the street and we never and went no contact.
Yeah.
Just to be, you know.
Yeah. Not a mama's boy. Don't do mama's boys. At least able to work out in the yard, enjoy hiking, have a pulse.
Living.
Yes. Not maintained by life support.
He's not joking.
I'm not joking. It says it on my profile. Not maintained by life support. Other ones. The ability to cook would be great. Working, job, driver's license.
Mm-hmm. It really does sound like a job application.
Yeah. I'm very particular about who I date, how I date, and when I date. Hardworking, sarcastic, must have a sense of humor. Able to drink.
I failed that one immediately.
Yeah. Polyamorous. Do not take up jealousy. Um, enjoy coffee. Not a morning person.
Like if I'm chipper in the morning, you're in trouble.
I'm chip. If they're chipper in the morning, they're in trouble. Able to speak English. Yes, I had to add that one.
Yeah.
And that was the nicer version. I'm looking to see if there's a way back machine.
Can pass a federal background check.
Yes.
Must be able to. I'm pretty sure that was one of them.
Yeah.
Like
No
I
criminal
remember
background.
at some point, and it was smooth. Like that, I think was the one that finally clued me in. There was a legit fucking list.
Yeah.
Was he like because he had worked most of these into a conversation, and just it like no alarm bells went off.
Mm-hmm.
Like somewhere along the way, he tried so delicately to work. Can you pass a federal background check into a conversation? And I went, what? Like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being interviewed for a job.
You are.
That was when I found out about the list.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, just hand me the 17 magazine quiz and get it over with. Like at this point, instead of us trying to have conversations where you work all of these in, like just give me the list. I'll fill it out honestly. You can score it.
We did.
I did. I missed like 3. I know it was the canned drink.
Right.
Oh yeah, as oblivious as Joe is, I bet getting answers about him was easy. Yeah, he didn't hit on my major like no, you ain't getting that.
Yeah, because I don't ask for social security number, none of that.
No. See, like I needed a whole other set of warnings to contend with this.
Yeah.
And I didn't have them.
Yeah.
Like he didn't ask for like a credit card or 2 forms of ID and my social security number.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't asking me to do anything that sounded like it might potentially lead to a felony.
Right.
So I was kind of like la 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 la, but the federal background check set up some alarm from some flags.
Right.
So wait, what? Like that's an awkward question.
Not really.
A little bit. A little bit. But no, I'm still trying to figure out what the third one I failed was. Like I know there was the drinking, and there was another one. Like you just hit it a little bit ago, I think. And then there was a third one.
Yeah, having a real job.
Yeah, that was one. There was
the drinking.
The drinking.
Yeah.
And then there was one more.
Leather one.
Oh yeah, must be into leather.
No, must own leather. Like not just
must own leather. Yeah, no, he didn't get a leather boy.
Yeah.
No. Turns out he learned also about himself that he would prefer to buy leather for boys.
Yeah. Yeah, that was enjoyable.
Because you do not know the struggle in our relationship every time he sees leather. It's like, do you want me to buy this for you?
Yeah.
And it's no.
Yeah. Can I buy it for me? No. Because most of the times it's like crappy leather.
Well, yeah, and like I haven't always said no to you buying stuff for yourself. There's a few things in the wish list for you.
Yeah, there's things in the wish list. There's things that I want, but we have to go somewhere to have them made because I'm not buying chaps online.
Yeah, but it's like, can I buy it for you? And he's like, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, no.
Yeah, but you covered most of my list, even my hard to find items.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, lists are helpful.
Yes. Know what you're hunting for.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
We're
All
continuing
right.
the conversation, then give the quiz, though, is my wisdom in this. Like, because you're going to hit a question on that list that's going to send up red flags.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I wonder.
What? Has anyone else filled in the application you forgot to check? Do you have survey responses you need to go grade and contact some dudes?
No, I'm recently had to sign into Skype. I remember us talking on Skype.
Oh, God. That's forever ago in our relationship.
I know. But it was early on.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just looking.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, that's back when I was sick.
Oh, goodness. Doing
Wow.
recon.
Yes, I'm doing recon. Always do your recon. Do your recon, keep your messages. God, how old? Back when we were debating which one of you were going to events. Oh my God.
Oh.
Aw. Okay, I'll read that file later.
Okay.
Like,
That makes you angry and then no.
no, it's very sweet.
Aw.
It's you two debating over who's going to go with me to the art event that we done, the hippie festival.
Right. Hippie festival.
Yeah.
I need more.
It was Hippie Fest in Ohio. Me and you went with the two Tinkers. It's the brick house picture.
Oh, that's the one where I got lost and had to like drove all the way up like a hill and had to come all the way back down.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it now.
Yeah. That's how far back Skype goes.
Oh, fun. Okay, show's over here.
I know. Sorry. Anyhow, I was looking for the list because I used to have it in another message and it's not there.
Oh.
Anyhow, but no, yeah, you scored very high on my list. What about yours?
See, this is where I go back to, but I can't date right now. I don't want to date right now. I'm not available to date right now. I didn't have a list. I wasn't looking. I was explicitly not looking. Like, and I kept repeatedly saying, I am explicitly not looking.
Yeah.
Like, I knew.
Yeah. And at the same time he's doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. In general, he's walking out the door saying, I love you.
If I'd known you were going to use those words against me.
Honey, I almost had to call a contractor.
You did end up calling a contractor.
Well, no, to replace the ceiling in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that situation. But no. I did have terms and conditions for moving in. That involved a contractor.
Right. Yeah. So it was interesting. It was a nice interlude. All right, guys, we will be back Sunday with Psychic of the Plans. I will be in my office, hopefully. Hopefully, I will have the ghost up and running. We will see, because it's moving in, and it's just so cumbersome. But we will see. We hope you guys have enjoyed the show, gotten some ideas, and watch who you're supporting. With that, though, good night, y'all. Take it away.
Of course All right, we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Tracy Van, Caitlin Bell, and Devin. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at pcspnetwork.com.
Yes. And we will see you Sunday at 8 p.m. Bye.
Bye.